Okay, people. So we have a new cooking feature on Netflix, right? It is called Hunger. You know what I mean? It is directed by Sitisiri Mongkolsiri and written by Kongdej Jaturanrasamee. It is produced by Kajori and Soros Sukum. The film is edited by Manusa Vorasagasha and Abist Wong-uthaiphan. Um, yeah. Visual effects are Nafamon Fata Fankakan and the cast. Well, we have got Au, who is played by Chutimon Chuengcharoensukying. There's Chef Paul, who is played by Nopachai Chaiyanam. Tone, played by Gun Savasti Nay Ayuaha, and Ao, played by or U, played by Buma Bahat Farah Runsuri. Oh dear. God damn it. I mean, normal words are difficult enough, but that was a struggle, people. Ain't gonna lie. And I know I butchered all of those names, so apologies. The gist of the film is this. Ao, a woman in her 20s, runs her family's local stir-fried noodles restaurant in the old quarter of Bangkok. One day she receives an invitation to leave the family business and join Team Hunger, Thailand's #1 luxury chef's table team, led by the famously ingenious and infamously nasty Chef Paul. Dum, dum, dum. Yeah, I mean, that is about it, right? Yeah. I mean, then it's like, and it seems like her dreams have come true, but these luxury ingredients have a bitter aftertaste: inequality. Right? So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot happening with this film. You know, the thing that came to mind while watching this was Hustle and Flow, right? That is the feature that really um made me kind of think of that, right? Now, different films. Hustle and Flow is about music. You know, this is about cooking. But the big thing for me is I felt, right, that Terrence Howard's character in Hustle and Flow was looking for fame, right? But didn't want to do the the legwork to get there. Didn't want to put in the hours. And I think that's something that I felt was here, right? Because she's working in the family restaurant, and then she goes to Chef Paul's spot, and you know, she's like, "Oh, I've got a dish, and I want to do more," and without putting in the hours, right? Without perfecting the skills. I thought that was like real evident here, you know? Now, maybe you want to say that, oh, she's been working there for a long time, and but we don't know, right? We don't really see the timeline. As far as we know as viewers, it she's been there, I don't know, a few months maybe, but not years, right? And I think, you know, most chefs, you hear their stories, and like they go to a restaurant, right? And they're not going from, basic line chef to head chef in a few months, right? That takes years for them to move up. You have to be on a section for ages until everything is just ingrained. It's muscle memory. And we do not see that here. You know what I mean? We just see someone wanting stuff, which is fine, right? Wanting to be the best, wanting to be famous, fine, right? Obviously, everyone wants something, and it's that can drive you to, the pinnacle. But it doesn't come overnight, right? And I feel that's what this is kind of showing, that, oh, someone's able to achieve all of this in a short period of time. But yeah, but how? Where's the work? You know what I mean? The other thing that I always, I find interesting is like, oh, we want to create viral moment. Like, you don't just manufacture viral. It's just something that grabs everyone. You can try and create a good video, right? And good story. And then it's just whether people gravitate to it, connect to it, it resonates to them. You feel me? That's the big thing here. But it's just like, oh, yeah, so this thing went viral and this, and it's just like, yo, people, shut the fuck up. What are we doing? You know what I mean? Like, there's a few things with this film that I didn't think were that well kind of conveyed. You know what I mean? Because like she's working in this family restaurant. Doesn't seem that she's loving it, right? But we don't see the drive to change it, right? There's no like, oh, maybe she's speaking to her dad and be like, yo, dad, I've got ideas for these recipes. Can we cook these? Or we don't see any of that, right? So it's, if you want to be this thing, what's holding you back? Right? Like she could have tried to turn that little family restaurant into the thing that she wants. Creating new dishes and all, but she doesn't. Why? You know? When she gets picked up, right? We just see this guy come to her spot one time, eat one meal, and only one plate. It's not like he ate a load of dishes and was like, oh, yeah, you're the. And it's just like, maybe he visited more. We don't see that though, right? And no one's making one decision off one dish, right? You might go, that dish is fucking good. Oh, shit. Let me try more. You know what I mean? I got to try more. We do not see that though, right? We don't see that. So it's just like, it seems implausible that a decision like that would be made off of that one thing. Just no, right? And when she's trying out, well, no, she's gone past the try out, but the chef will ask her to cut some beef. she sees him do it, but then there's this struggle, and he's like, "Don't soar," and she keeps on soaring, and it's just like, you were showed, right? So what's the thing here? What, like, if that was articulated, you know what I mean? Then I don't know, something, a bigger connection would be made, right? But we just don't see it, people. We just don't see it. Like, relationships are formed, but it's just like we see people in each other's company doing stuff, but not bonding on that deeper level. You know what I mean? Look, if someone is going shopping with someone and doing those things, that's all well and good. But you don't know that person unless you're having deep ass conversations, not really seeing it. You know what I mean? So there's all of these things happening within this story, which I don't think it's doing this thing that you know the film is wanting to do, right? I don't feel that it is hitting you with these complex ideologies, right? To show that there is this line between rich and poor, right? And the people that are providing this service, this commodity to the rich, and why they can't have that thing too, right? Why is there this divide, right? It's mentioned, but I just don't think they explore it in the way that the film is kind of trying to project. You know what I mean? Like, we got the hospital stay and just these other things, right? Then you have this other animosity, right? This other thing with a chef. Well, there's two other things with a chef. I mean, actually, there's three. There's a theft situation, which doesn't really get resolved, right? Because we know what really happened. And no one, like, someone doesn't question that thing. And you're like, I kind of feel you're going to question that thing. Also, in the moment, it's given away what really happened by the actions of one of the characters. You know what I mean? Like, I feel it's pretty clear where eyes are pointed, you know what I mean? Which kind of, yeah, right? But that's all skipped over, right? And then there's no aftermath to it, which you kind of feel there should be, right? You've also got this thing with one of the characters who does their own thing, but why? Right? That's a big thing. It's just like, why did they? Right now, was it attached to? We don't know, because it's not really shown if it's attached to this other event that happens during a cooking, you know, request. Right? So there's things that aren't very clear because of the way the film is put together, which is a shame, right? Because cooking is just like, yo, we've seen some great cooking films. You know what I mean? Like, we just had The Menu, which really good and really does a good job of showing the hypocrisy of, you know what I mean? Like, this elitist fine dining, right? I thought that was really smart, the way that was all put together. Then you've got things like Boiling Point, which stars Stephen Graham. I think it was, I want to say, the 2019 London Film Festival. It may be, I feel it was that. It may have been 2020. It's hard. I lose track, people. I lose track. But it's on Netflix now, and it is a really good film. Really good film. If you have not seen it, definitely check it out. you know? But I thought they were very smart in the way they developed their stories and, made certain points. In this one, right, you've got Chef Paul and he's rude and, and he shouts and all of this. And you could, you know what I mean, work it that like, yo, you don't have to be this. But we then just see people just doing the same thing, right? Just doing the same thing. So I mean, like visual, there's some really stunning visual moments with the cooking and the effects of that and all, that's all very good. But I mean, the story just doesn't really pack a punch, right? It's kind of like, the adverts for things like McDonald's and Burger Kings. And you see the burgers everyone's eating in the adverts. Now, you go to that motherfucking spot, you order, your burger is a shriveled up, shrunk, it does not look like anything you see in an advert, right? And I think that's a big thing. There is the promise of something, oh, truly succulent, but what you end up with is a McDonald's burger. Now, see, here's the thing. There's a lot of people that love McDonald's burgers, right? So it just all depends on what you want, right? Do you want some really delectable high-end thing? Or do you want a McDonald's burger, people? Right? Hunger is on Netflix. You decide.